You're listening to the Public Health Entrepreneurs Podcast with your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley. Greetings, everyone, and thank you for joining me on this episode. On this podcast, we explore topics of interest for professionals at the intersection of public health and entrepreneurship. My name is Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and I'm really happy that you've decided to join me on this episode. I'm a public health entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in both healthcare and public health, and I've also been a podcaster since 2017. I'm super excited to let you know about a new workshop that's coming up. If you are listening to this episode in real time as it's being released, then you've got just a couple of more weeks that you are able to register and join us if you're interested. Now, are you ready to make your side hustle your full-time gig? Well, attention consultants and entrepreneurs who are juggling a full-time job alongside your business. Is your goal to leave your current job and work for yourself full-time? Or is the path to making that transition making you feel a little frustrated? Does it seem unclear or even impossible? You're just not sure how people are doing this, but maybe it's something that you'd like to be doing? Well, you're not alone. I've been there myself, and I have successfully made the leap. Over the years, I've guided countless number of professionals like you to become full-time entrepreneurs. Now it's your turn. We've prepared a 5-day game-changing workshop to help you. And if you've ever engaged with me in one of my workshops or programs like this, then you know that they're just filled with just all the things you need, not overwhelming, but people always leave feeling well served and delighted. And there's always extra little bonuses sprinkled throughout that we just never know where this path will lead us, but it's always a customized path when we do these workshops together. You are able to explore your options. You'll be able to develop a personalized strategy to achieve this entrepreneurial milestone. So don't miss this opportunity to transform your side hustle into your main hustle. Check the description of this episode for a link to enroll if you happen to be listening during the window of time that this episode is being released and there's still the opportunity for you to enroll. Now, we're going to transition a little bit to the topic for today. So on today's episode, I like to share a word about relationships. And I'm even going to connect with what I just got through telling you about with this workshop and a few other things. So I want you to remember always, people do business with people. So you may think of your clients as a company, organization. You may work for a company. You own a company, but there are people behind these organizations, and people engage and interact with other people. Of course, you have to have the expertise needed and bring a solution to whatever the problem is. You have to be qualified, and that goes without saying. But at the end of the day, people do business with people. And this is something that I want you to always remember. We can sometimes take for granted or forget how powerful or significant this is until we're in a situation where we are reminded of the power of that connection. So for myself, as my husband and I have been navigating this tragedy and this journey of grief and trying to put things together, I've become really aware of this again, just recently in a few ways. So I will start with my clients through my consulting business. My clients, I'm at a season where some of my clients renewed their contracts with me. And during that process, it was almost seamless. We made a few changes to the scope of work. We negotiated the rate. And this is an organization I've worked with for a few years. And I don't ever take for granted that, they're just automatically going to renew with me. I hope that we get to continue to work together. I want to always deliver, serve them well, and become a part of, as long as I'm being able to add value to the organization and it's a good fit, I want that to continue. There are times when, you outgrow the relationship or things change, you move on, they move on. But I've had that just happen twice since we started on this. I guess our world's turned upside down and we've been really trying to navigate this really tough journey. And it reminded me of, I just appreciated it just so much more. It's been able to help me find some solid points in my life where everything feels just out of order. And my clients made the comment, Now, the organizations that I serve in my consulting business are nonprofit organizations. We are often working with BIPOC leaders. So these organizations are leading within their communities under this BIPOC umbrella. And more specifically, we serve a lot of tribal organizations. And we were recently referred to as part of the family. And that is like right up there with the highest honor you can receive when your BIPOC leader, your client, is referring to you as a part of the family. So that is, to me, I reflect back over how we've been able to build this relationship. When I position myself to work with my clients, I've always built on this foundation of trust and building on that trust to have more confidence. And then those are sort of the foundational pieces to having a good, strong relationship. And trust, I can start breaking that all down. It goes back to our core values in this business, one of which is integrity, doing the right thing, whether other people are watching or not. So these things matter. And when it comes down to relationships with the organizations that you serve, you really want to be in a situation where you have the relationship with your clients to where you feel you're a trusted member of that team. If you're referred to as a part of the family, I interpret that as a very valuable, trusted member of the team. And that is important to me and for my business. And I'm starting a little bit of an audit, which I tend to do this time of year. And that's another topic, a different episode. But where I start to look at, what's working, what's not, what do I like about the clients I'm working with, all those things. But I started to look at other clients that we have. And the common thread is that those relationships. So I think that I'm sharing this with you because I'd like for you to do the same. If you haven't before, maybe just starting to do this for the very first time, but really thinking about the importance and the significance of the relationships. Like, how can you humanize your transactions? So when you're marketing your business, or, we just did a series on networking at conferences. And right now we are planning to attend a conference, a large conference. And I've been talking with my team a lot about the focus for us is relationship, building relationships. A lot of our clients will be at this conference, and we want to take advantage of the opportunity to engage with them in person and interact with them and take those relationships to a whole new level. Because when you work remotely online with your clients and with most of your community or network, you have an opportunity to get in front of them. That's an opportunity to strengthen that relationship. It's a whole different experience. So think about relationships as you think about clients and marketing and connections and networking. It's about getting to know people. When you get to know people initially, you don't know if they're going to become a client or not. But I think of it as always a win. To me, I would get excited about just meeting new people in the industry and learning about the creative ways that people are doing public health and how they're using their education and their background to work in different places or to lead, these entrepreneurial journey, go down these journeys. And that was always fascinating to me. So this kind of takes me to the podcast. When I started my first podcast, it was that excitement that got me started. Well, even before I knew I was going to have a consulting business, I genuinely wanted to connect with people. And I used this platform, which is why I was able to, when I wanted to niche down and really focus more on the topic of public health and entrepreneurship, I started to focus on you, the listener, the entrepreneur who's building a business and on this journey. And I wanted to share, not just blurt out to you what I do and what it's all about me, but really wanted to share from this platform in a way that would really help you. And I'm imagining that you're listening to these episodes and you're taking what you need from them to help you on this journey wherever you are with your business. So this is about building this relationship and connection. Now, of those of you that are listening to these episodes, some of you might actually be very interested in the workshop that I talked about just a few moments ago. I carefully put together the outline and the messaging that I want to share with you on this episode with the intent of knowing that not everyone listens to every single episode. So if it's hit or miss, I don't want you to miss any of these messages. But this is me sharing with you. And only a few of you are actually going to enroll in that workshop and participate. And that's okay. That's what it's not exactly meant for everyone to be there, but it's me establishing this trust, hopefully, and this relatability with you through these episodes that I produce every week. Every week, we're releasing 2 episodes right now on this podcast. And I'm sharing insights, I'm sharing tips, I'm sharing guidance, I'm answering questions. And now I'm inviting you to an opportunity to work together with me to dive deeply on a specific topic that may be something that you're struggling with. So because I've been building this trust with you and this relationship over these episodes for a while, then some of you are likely going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to enroll in that because I want that opportunity to take that relationship to a whole new experience, a whole new level, and get some answers for myself and to get a strategy put together. And same thing with our mastermind group program that I talk about on every episode. I want this platform to share in a way that helps get you ready. And a lot of you will be ready for that program. You want to be a part of it, and you're building up toward it, or some of you are thinking about it, but it's only meant for a few people to actually enroll in that program. I'm not expecting that everyone listens, although I share it on every episode. But I know that for this podcast, a lot of you will listen to this podcast and never enroll in anything else that I have. And that's perfectly fine. I'm here to serve and build that confidence with you and that trust. And if I can help you in that way, then I'm excited about that. And then for the few of you that will come to my workshops, or the few of you that will join our mastermind group program, I'm excited to work with you and to build that relationship on a whole new level. So that is how, and hopefully you can really hear that in my voice. That's very genuine. And I want you to be that way about your business and the people that you're connecting with in your community. It's really about being excited about pulling that community together and then looking to build that trust and confidence and learn about what they're struggling with and how you may be able to help them by, whatever services you provide through your business. And once you start to work with clients, in my experience with these larger organizations, they have a lot of different problems. So when we come in and we help them with that immediate problem, then we're often there to help them with something else and then something else. It continues, which is how we end up renewing. Or sometimes it's just an ongoing challenge or a gap that needs to be filled that we're able to address. But it's all about relationships. So I hope that you take something away from this that can help you, like I said, just kind of humanize the overall transactional feel of how you're marketing or selling or serving your clients, and just leveling. I think that to the degree, at least this is my experience, to the degree that in the strength of your relationships and with your clients and your community kind of equates to the amount or the level of impact you're able to have. And that's just something that I think is very wonderful. On my other podcast that's been out since 2017, it's got, I think we're at 370 some episodes. It's a weekly show, so new episodes every week, not twice a week, but just once a week. But at any rate, it's reached people in multiple countries. And I've actually had the experience, the privilege of being able to meet people from other countries who have listened to the podcast, and 3 countries in particular, from Canada, the UK, and then also Ecuador, that have listened to the podcast, initially found them in their countries, and then at some point we've crossed paths and I've been able to meet them in person. And if I actually think long enough, there may be some more people now that I'm thinking about it. But that's phenomenal to think about. I had no idea the impact, the connectedness, the relationships that would be built so far away when I started that podcast and using that platform. But that has been amazing to me. And same here. I'm excited to see where we go here and how many people I'll get to meet in person that started listening and first started hearing my voice on this podcast. So there will be other opportunities coming along the way for you all to engage and for us to meet in person. So I won't go down that rabbit trail, but I just know that relationships is a theme for not just me, for my business, for my team, as we look for ways to connect with our community, our clients, all of you, and to help you to grow your businesses and all those things, but to just strengthen those relationships. All right. Now, I did touch on this. Well, we have our mastermind group program that I talk about on every episode. I just want to remind you that enrollment is open only twice a year, and it is coming up very soon at the very beginning of December. So that means that if you have applied to our mastermind group program, we are starting to reach out to people right now. You have the opportunity to apply, I would say, through about mid-November, end of November. And all the information is on our website to find out about the program. But once you apply, that lets us know that you're interested, and we follow up with even more details, and we'll arrange a time to meet with you if we need to, but we try to answer all of your questions. It's very personalized. We want to make sure it's a good mutual fit, not only for the community. You know, we'll want to see, are you a good fit for us? We know the community, but we also want you to have all of your questions answered so that you know that it's a good fit for you. So this is coming up on a time. We're definitely talking about the workshop that I described earlier, but then we also have our mastermind group program, which has 2 retreats per year that are in person, and they're 2-day retreats. We are going to be in San Diego coming up on our next retreat, which will be February of 2025. We're very, very excited about that. So if you're interested in that program, please submit an application so that we know and we can follow up with you. Our website is publichealthentrepreneurs.com, and the link will be in the description of this episode. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more.